A priest stood by his bed. He wasn't there to pray for a recovery. He was there to read him his last rites. To the world, the man in the bed was already dead. His face was gone, melded by fire. His lungs were scorched black by toxic fumes. The doctors told his wife to buy a black dress for the funeral. But as the priest spoke the words of death, Niki Lauda wasn't listening to God. He was listening to his own rage. And he decided right then and there, I refuse to die. To understand the miracle, you have to understand the madness. 1976, the golden age of Formula One. It was a time when sex was safe and driving was dangerous. Every year, 2 or 3 drivers didn't come home. Niki Lauda knew the math. He was a computer in human form, cold, calculated. But the Nürburgring, the green hell, that was suicide. 22 kilometers of twisting asphalt through a forest. No fire marshals, no chance of rescue. Lauda tried to boycott the race. The other drivers voted him down. They called him a coward. So he got in the car. Lap 2, Bergwerk corner, a suspension failure at 120 miles per hour. The Ferrari didn't just crash, it exploded. It bounced back onto the track like a fireball. Trapped inside the twisted metal, Lauda sat in an 800-degree inferno for 55 seconds. His helmet had been ripped off. He was inhaling fire, plastic, and gasoline directly into his lungs. By the time brave fellow drivers pulled him out, he was a monster. The hospital was worse than the crash. To save his lungs, doctors had to vacuum the toxic soot out of his trachea. They pushed a tube down his raw, burned throat. Lauda said it felt like they were vacuuming his soul. He did this daily, awake. But then, lying in agony, he saw a newspaper. Ferrari had already hired his replacement. That didn't break him, it ignited him. Most men would take a year to recover. Some would never walk again. Niki Lauda was back in a race car in 40 days. 40 days. When he walked into the paddock at Monza, the silence was terrifying. He was wearing a modified helmet lined with special bandages because his wounds were still bleeding. Whenever he took the helmet off, the bandages would rip the scabs off his healing skin. The pain was excruciating. He was terrified, but he lowered the visor, and he drove. The man who had received his last rites 6 weeks earlier crossed the finish line in 4th place. His balaclava was soaked in blood, but he was alive. Niki Lauda carried those scars for the rest of his life. He never fixed his face. He wore them as medals. He proved that the human body is fragile, but the human will is bulletproof. The race is only over when you decide to stay down. If this story lit a fire in you, hit subscribe. We tell the stories of legends who refuse to quit.